It's harder to call, man. It's harder to call.
It really is. But we'll figure out who takes this series and who moves on to that qualifying match here on Data Under the Sea. In the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in that bottom left-hand corner, we have, of course, our red Zerg player coming out from the land of India. He is, of course, going to be representing Alpha X as the Shock who patrols the waters. He is Demi.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have the Australian Zerg player himself representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Oreo. Okay, so talking a little bit about what we were talking about yesterday when we were able to cast Oreo versus some of the other players. ZVP is the matchup that has changed the most and is the matchup that I am least confident in when it comes to Oreo's performance. But the other matchups, ZVT and ZvZ, relatively unchanged.
Thankfully for Oreo, though, there are no Protoss players on this side of the bracket.
Yeah. True. The only one was Pez, and he played Terran. He didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh god. So yeah, thankfully there's no Quantel, there's no Pez, there's no Zane. So this is the ideal run here for Oreo, for him to be able to avoid that matchup. But despite that, despite ZvZ being a little bit unchanged, you know, Oreo also is rusty, and Demi has been oiling that machine for the past year.
Yeah, he's been fully operational for over a year at this point. I mean, you just never accumulate rust if you keep using your machines, is what I've been told. Doesn't work the same way with your body, so apparently. If you keep using your body, it has a high chance of breaking down.
Yeah. Oreo knows that firsthand.
Yeah.
First wrist.
I'm hoping in that break he took, he was able to fix his wrist a little.
Yeah, he was saying that like he's definitely feeling better. Like he's like working out. He's working on his muscles to like kind of help like alleviate a lot of that pressure as well. Working on his posture, all that stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking forward. I think he's doing like calisthenics or something. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
The thing where you're like, No, I'm thinking of Kegels.
So
Kegels are the ones where you jump.
It's so good. It's so good.
Calisthenics are the ones that old people do in the morning, right?
I don't think you're familiar with it.
Yeah, the retirees.
Yeah.
They do it in the morning.
You know, yoga.
Yoda.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we do have pretty standard Emperors. Both players went for a hatch gas pool. We do see a third base on the way for both our players as well. Oreo does have a hidden Roach Warren, though. He's the one changing things up a little bit here, skipping his Baneling Nest.
Yeah, compared to Demi, who is getting his Baneling Nest and is getting some safety Banelings that he is going to need to defend against this wave of Lings that Oreo's throwing his way. The scary thing for Demi, however, is that these Lings are not the biggest threat right now, or they are the biggest threat right now, but pretty soon they're not going to be. The roaches are what he's going to have to keep his eyes on.
Yeah, exactly. A bit of a 1-2 punch. Oreo has not been joining for quite some time. He intends to... Oh my god, he intends to attack with these Lings and then go into his roaches afterwards. We do have a couple Lings sneaking into that natural.
That is a very nice snipe on one of those Banelings here from the side of Oreo. Oreo also scouts that Demi is himself going for a bit of a Roach Horn, so his pedal is fully on the metal right now, and he is making sure that he will be able to, snowball his supply of roaches much quicker than Demi can.
Yeah, bearing in mind that Oreo is all in, like he needs to have dealt a little bit more damage here with his Lings. He has forced. Oh my god, Yana! Yana! He has forced a lot of Lings out of Demi, sure, but Demi still has a pretty substantial worker lead.
Yeah, not to mention he's already mining at that base. So that does have to go down in order for Oreo to equalize. Decent snipe on one of the Banelings, but a couple of these roaches did get isolated, did get picked off. Here come the reinforcements for Oreo, though. And this is starting to get a little scary for Demi.
Yeah, it really is. The Lings of Demi have all fallen. We have a couple of roaches coming out here as they reinforce this army. The Queen is going to go down, and the Queen actually survives here at the third base. Oreo is trying to dive on top of these roaches.
The one thing you cannot underestimate in this army right now, the single Ravager from Oreo. It is forcing so much micro out of Demi with its vials, and every time Demi moves to avoid a vial, Oreo's roaches are getting a couple of free volleys in.
Yeah, but we need these Lings. There's so many Lings being wasted right now at the third base. There we go. Oreo finally does recognize that he needs to break on through. He will get on top of some of these Queens, but the roaches keep coming out for Demi.
Yeah, it's not enough for Oreo to just kill that third base anymore. He has to go full for the throat. Oreo being a little bit indecisive, honestly. Not sure if he should go for the roaches or for the third base. In the end, he will get neither. Demi will hold. But Oreo has kind of evened out the worker supply.
Demi is looking quite powerful here, as he's
Yeah, it's a lot of roaches.
The worker counts are even, sure, but Demi is ahead when it comes to the overall army. Oreo has a lot of Lings, and he unfortunately hasn't really been able to do too much with them. He needs to deal a little bit more damage. He does get into the natural, but Demi is quick to respond. Again, we were seeing that Oreo was messing up a little bit when it comes to his pathing. A lot of his Lings were not fighting. They were not where they needed to be. If those Lings were a part of that engagement on the roaches, I do think that Oreo would have been able to break through. He would have been able to trade so much more efficiently. He was so close, but alas, not meant to be.
Yeah, we'd be in the lobby for the next game at this point.
We really would. Oreo is joining up behind this, and he has taken a worker lead here. He is making defensive roaches. Right now, Oreo has to do whatever he can to keep Demi at home.
He's doing a pretty good job of it. I mean, Demi doesn't really realize, or at least earlier on didn't really realize how far ahead he was in the army supply. He could have gone for the counterattack, but Oreo is applying so much pressure while he just drones up and techs up back at home. Demi is a lot quicker to get his upgrades, however.
Yeah, +1 range is on the way. Oreo doesn't have a single Evo chamber yet right now. He's just focusing on his army, focusing on his economy. He did just send a Ling into his main base of Demi, confirmed that there wasn't a lair. We do see there is one now, but it is a little bit later, so Oreo knows he has time. Oreo knows that there is no Spire transition as he is pumping out so many Lings for a follow-up all-in.
And this is kind of the last hurrah of Oreo, but one that could actually work very well. Demi, of course, has the defensive advantage. Eventually, he will have the better roaches as well. But for the time being, Oreo has basically twice the army supply, and he just needs to make sure that they're all fighting it as one.
Yeah, that's the thing, but Banelings are being morphed in. If Oreo had kept this hidden and pulled the trigger before this had happened, then maybe he would have a chance, but these Banelings are going to throw a wrench in the works. It's going to be that much more difficult for Oreo to get this around.
Yeah, even on Data C, where you have two entrances into that third base, Oreo is still gonna take a lot of casualties. Nice snipe though on the base of Demi. The Lings are slowly breaking through and getting us around on top of the roaches of Demi as well. Demi's roaches are a little bit better in terms of the quality, but the quantity of Oreo is much higher. The positioning of these roaches is much better.
The flanking Banelings were insane. GG gets called. Oreo takes the first game. Let's go. Oh my god.
Love to see it from Oreo.
Exactly. I saw the Banelings morphing in for Oreo, and I'm like, okay, he needs the most ideal Baneling connections, and he traded like 2 for 6. It was crazy. Demi lost every single one of his Banelings bar 1, and then the target fire was on point. We were talking about it. Demi, those Banelings were so crucial to make sure that his army would not get surrounded by those things, and bam, just like that, Oreo knew what his win condition was. He knew that he just had to get rid of those Banelings, and he would win.
And he did. Beautiful to see.
Oh my god.
And I like this. Yeah. And I like the style and the build that Oreo went for as well in game number 1 against Demi. To me, that kind of signals that he's confident coming into this matchup. A lot of times, especially in the previous ANZ champ seasons, he was saying that the only times he goes for cheeses is when he doesn't feel confident against his opponent, and I very quickly learned that that's not. He should be more confident against his opponents regardless, because it's a little bit too coin flippy when he does those things. That was an aggressive build, but it was one where he absolutely knew what he was doing, and he never left anything to chance either.
Yeah,
It's all the way in Korea. Anyway, we're going to be continuing our best of 3 prequel now on Inside and also Out. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way. In that bottom left-hand corner, we of course have the red Zerg player coming out from the land of India. He of course is going to be representing Alpha X. He is Demi.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside now, we have our beautiful Australian Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings going for a 12 pool. It is Oreo.
Remember what I said about Oreo playing cheesy in ZvZ?
Yeah.
Well, might as well pull it off. This is the NXZ. I can smell the NXZ influence on him.
I can smell it exactly. Oh god. So
I'm in the next building.
I'm pretty sure this was a 12 pool and not a 14 pool. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure it was a 12 pool. As the Lings are going to be moving out across the map here. 12 pool into a hatchery. Of course, 12 pools aren't necessarily all in. You can transition out of them. There are pros and cons. You know, with these Lings, you can force a denial. You can kill some workers. You force Demi to micro with his drones, and of course, you can drone up behind this if you are Oreo. The downside is that, of course, your gases are going to be very late in the mid-game.
Yeah, and that's absolutely something that Demi can take advantage of. He will be getting link speed a lot quicker. He can go for the counterattack if he survives the initial wave, or when he survives the initial wave.
Yeah, and Oreo going for the correct response. Sorry, Demi going for the correct response. He is going to be able to pull the boys here. He has to keep this hatchery alive. And also, on top of that, he has to make sure he micros and doesn't lose too many drones.
And so far, the drone drilling has been very, very good. Hatchery is starting to get a little bit low, but you can get away with having the hatchery low.
Oh!
As long as it survives.
Oof.
Couple of drones going down for Demi, but no big deal. In the end, Oreo, he smells blood in the water. He knows how low that hatchery is. He wants it so bad, but he can't get it anymore. Demi does have a couple of links to chase us away, and that's going to be the end of the 12th pool.
Yeah, I mean, there was some really nice micro. Even here, oh my god, Oreo being able to buy a little bit more time, pulling a couple of links away. Would you have one link headed sneaking into that main base to maybe pick off a drone, or at least get a scout off and figure out what's going on? In the end, this didn't really pay for itself. Like, Oreo is ahead in drones slightly by 1, but again, he's behind in gas, and from here, he may be forced to just wall off on 2 bases.
Yeah, which is not ideal in ZvZ, but you can definitely get away with that, provided you have a plan of attack. You know, you're probably not going to be getting a third base anytime soon.
Oh god, yeah, exactly, especially not when your opponent has link speed and you do not. We do have a Bailey Nest on the way here for Demi, hidden in the main base, by the way, so Demi intends to just rush out with Link Bane. Oreo needs to try and get eyes on this. He does have a couple of links looking to sneak on in, but again, they are slow links, so I don't know if they're going to make it that far. Yeah,
they can't outrun these links from Demi, but you know what? They may be able to out-sneak them.
We'll see if he can right now. As Oreo's 2 links do get caught out here on the left-hand side. They are going to be cleaned up. We do have a third base on the way. Oreo doesn't quite have an overlord in position as he's being forced back. And yeah, he's going into a very fast lair.
I'm waiting for the 4th gas to be taken life.
Yo, like...
I'm getting the Rickle already. I have 1 Ricola left in this box.
Oh my god, let's go, Puppy, let's go. So far, we do have a full wall off here on 2 bases. Oh, I say that as the Queen goes to inject, but thankfully the Lings do back on off, so there is no punishing here for Oreo. +1 range is in the way. I don't see the 4th gas.
Okay.
It's
just gonna be 2 base roaches.
Yo, like, okay. I just want my mutas, papi. I just want my mutas.
Yeah, look. It's a match of Demi. We're gonna see Mudas at least once, right?
Yeah. You know, Demi's getting his own lair. I have faith, I have belief that he will get a Spire at some point. Meanwhile, we do have Roach Speed on the way here for Oreo. Demi's just confirming there is no third base. We see Oreo trying to sneak one out, but Demi was on top of this. He will be able to deny this. Delay.
Yeah, actually a pretty substantial delay as well. Oreo will get the drone regardless, but he was already behind economically just because of the opening he went for. So even little tiny delays that Demi gets here stacks up quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It really does. Meanwhile, Oreo has been able to honestly macro quite a bit. This is a very bold move here. He's moving out with all of his roaches. He does have roach speed on the horizon, to be fair, so he will have that advantage over Demi. And he's going to be able to catch some of these morphing in roaches.
Yeah, nice couple of pickoffs here. Oreo is able to isolate a couple of these roaches and split the army effectively in two. But Demi does have that defender's advantage, and that is something that Oreo cannot underestimate. Nice flank here with the roaches, but banelings do come in for Demi and soften out the roaches of Oreo at least a little bit.
Yeah, and this was, again, a really nice timing. Look at the units lost tab. This cost Oreo 2 roaches, and he got 4 roaches and a queen and 2 banelings of Demi. So just out trading here at the third. He didn't even get the drones.
Very efficient. He's trying to.
Oh.
Oreo will get eyes on the rest of Demi's roach army. Was hoping that the Ravagers might be able to make up for, the army supply difference, but not when the difference is that. Not when the difference is that massive.
Yeah, but did you see like, the delicate micro again from Oreo? He didn't lose a single unit there when he poked in. He was so very careful. He is even able to take down one of these overlords.
And look at the supply of Demi. Or at least the supply limit of Demi compared to Oreo right now.
The supply block, he's making 4 overlords, Papi! Oreo, he's going in!
Oh, he is he's just gonna open up these rocks to make it a little bit easier to reinforce later on. Has to be careful about his pathing though. A couple of roaches. Oh no, actually the plan is to sneak in and to distract the roaches Demi a little bit.
Yeah, I mean he's getting drone kills, don't get me wrong. Meanwhile, here we go, the bios are going to be connecting here with the roaches of Demi. We do see Oreo just completely going for a dive. +1 carapace is going to finish up now.
Once again, every time Demi moves to avoid a bile, Oreo's roaches are getting a couple of free shots in. Here comes a little bit of a flank of roaches from Demi, but the boys have been forced to be pulled. That is always a sign of desperation in a ZvZ.
Yeah, in the end, Demi will hold on, but he did end up losing 10 workers in the process. Demi is still behind in the upgrades. Oreo is looking to come back in. He splits up another 3 roaches, looking to go for another bit of a run by it.
And once again, look at the concave here for Oreo. Look at that army supply difference, even the upgrade difference that he has got. It is very, very difficult to see Demi recovering from
the
here.
Viper, he pulls back the weakened roaches, he keeps them all alive. Oreo's gonna be diving on in, and Demi has nothing left. Does he pull the plug?
Yo!
Has he pulled the plug? He pulls the plug!
He took an axe to his modem! Oh no!
Oh my god! Demi's had enough, he is out! He takes down his PC! Oh.
Ay. My god.
Wow. To be fair, I can't believe how this game is playing out. The fact that Oreo comes back after like a 3 to 4 month hiatus, Papi, he's been gone for 3+ months. And he comes out here and he's gonna tour Demi. He tours Demi.
It's naughty. It's a lot less close than I thought it would be.
I agree. I 100% agree.
I thought, I thought for sure we would at least get a 2-1, or if it was just going to be 2 games, then, you know, it were going to be 2 games that went down to the wire. But Oreo, the absolute madman that he is, proves why he's the king of Brisbane. Will, is that counted as a GG, actually?
I mean, we can message Demi and ask if she wants to resume from replay. We can do this.
We can. But mathematically speaking, I'm not the best at math. There's no way Demi recovers from a situation like that.
There's no way, mate. There is no way.
I'm just gonna call it.
He's off.
We may get a resume from replay if Demi so chooses, but again, there is absolutely no way whatsoever from that point where he dropped that he's able to recover. He is down something like, actually I can look on stream right now. The army supply difference is something like 50 to 50 for Oreo, 20 to Demi. And that's Roach versus Roach. That's not, you know, that's a marine tank or anything where the lower army supply can realistically come back. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. It was 70 to 20 for Oreo. I'm just going to call it GG from there. I cannot believe just how well Oreo is doing right now after that 3-month hiatus. I cannot believe, actually, that Demi's not going to make it to the close qualifiers this season.
I can't believe it either. Let's be honest. Like, we were talking about it last game. At the start of, sorry, yesterday. We were talking about how last night Demi is a favorite to make it. Not just to the closed qualifier, but to the main event. 100%. We are both in agreement that Demi is on fire. He is in form right now, and he deserves to be there.
I fully believed as well that Demi, you know, realistically could have made it to the finals, or at least a third place match in that regional event, maybe winning the whole thing. But Oreo had to come in. Oreo had to cut his break short. He had to crush the hopes and dreams of all of India and all of Alpha X. If he doesn't qualify from here, then I am going to be a little bit upset. Not going to lie, like.
I will as well, right? Like, if you take down the favorite in Demi, then may as well go all the way. Oh my god, I can't believe that this is happening here. Jesus. Oh my god.